Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. I thought we would do something a little different in today's video. I have my bass guitar, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a bass pedal board on the Line 6 POD HD500x. So let's do it. Okay, so I have my 500x powered up, and to begin, I'm gonna find a new tone. Now, I know that there's some bass guitar presets that may already be on your 500x, depending on the different preset banks that are already loaded on it, but I'm just gonna start totally from scratch. So if I push this button here, it's gonna bring up my set list. If you don't know if you have any new tones yet, pick a set list and scroll through until you find a new tone. And if you don't have any new tones already available, then you could just pick a tone that you don't really care about and just go through each effect and turn the first knob all the way to the left counterclockwise until it disappears, and just go through and do that to all the effects. So before I add any effects, let's just hear what the bass sounds like. Okay. Whenever I've made bass tones, I've always kind of struggled with having the bass to be audible, to be loud enough to be heard with other instruments. It can kind of be like a lot of force right away, but then the sustain kind of dies down and you don't really hear it, and it's just kind of like a very unbalanced kind of thing. So the first thing I'm going to add is a compressor just to help even everything out. And so I'm just going to turn the first knob to the dynamics section, and then second knob, we're going to select one of the compressors. I've had pretty good luck with this blue compressor, treble. This seems to bring out a lot of the high end. Here it is with it off. And then on. Of course, you can try out different compressors, but this one seems to work out pretty well. I'm just gonna leave the settings just right where they're at. Yeah, so I guess that's your bass tone right there. I kind of like that. I would probably just stick with that. I don't think I would use an amp model. I think the amp model is just gonna make the tone too thin, add too much mids, and the drive is just gonna be too much. I kind of like the warmth, just how it's at. But like I said, we're gonna fill out this pedal board, so let's just throw in some more fun effects. If you wanted to tweak your tone a little bit more, you could add in an EQ. So you can just scroll through to preamp and EQ, and the first one, graphic EQ, double click the enter button, and it'll show you a list of a lot of the major frequencies that you can tweak. So that's an option too. I'm not gonna really mess with it right now in this video. So our clean bass tone sounds pretty good. Let's add in a bass fuzz. So if we go to distortion, let's see here. This fuzz pie effect sounds pretty good. Could probably use a little bit more tweaking. So if we double click the enter button, I would think messing with the drive setting would be what we would want to do. Yeah, it's pretty close. I kind of wish the fuzz was even like more tight sounding, a little bit more saturated, but that's working pretty well. Then what else do we want? Maybe like some kind of envelope filter would be kind of cool. Go to the next block. Let's find filter. I think this V-Tron filter works pretty well. Double click, see the parameters that it has. It's kind of a cool thing. It kind of takes a vowel sound, puts it on your bass tone, and then it morphs it into another vowel tone. So for instance, it's starting with this A vowel and it ends with a U vowel. So check this out. I go awa. And you can go through and you can pick different vowels. A sounds pretty good, and I think the I to U sounds pretty good. Then another cool parameter to adjust is the speed. I kind of like it to be a little quicker, so I'll bring it down. Oh, and then also the mode. They have an up and an up down. Either one sounds kind of cool. All right, cool. Let's do like a phaser or something. I'm just gonna skip over the amp model. Let's go to the filter section. Or not filter, modulation. Already passed it there. I guess any of these could be kind of cool. This is like way too fast. Yeah, I don't know. It could be kind of cool for like a big intro to something. How would it sound with like fuzz? Maybe delay could be kind of cool to have. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with how people would use delay with bass, but that could be a thing that could be kind of cool. What would like an analog delay sound? Or like a low res? Yeah, maybe. Maybe that with our vocoder. Getting somewhere here. All right, what else could be kind of cool? I guess reverb. I'm kind of viewing these effects coming from the perspective of a guitarist, if you can't tell. So I kind of got to think like a bass. And the thing is, like when you're playing bass, like you're a very foundational instrument, so you kind of need to be like pretty like solid. And so reverb kind of can potentially kind of lessen the solidness of the bass, but it could be cool, you know, in certain settings, maybe like a bass solo kind of thing, or like an ambient kind of intro or bridge part of a song. So I don't know, let's just try some reverb. Throw in some of this delay. And I guess maybe it'd be cool to have a bass wah pedal, because why not? So there we go. And for this, I'm gonna move it. Let's put it like right after the compressor. Sweet. Maybe one other option would be potentially ditching either the reverb or the delay. And let's ditch this reverb and let's go for, where's volume? We could do a volume pedal. And this could be useful too, like if you want to do some swells with your bass. Although maybe if you're doing swells, you'd want to keep a reverb as well. I don't know, you just have to decide what you're doing. If you wanted to, you could have a volume pedal and you could like play some bass notes and swell in. Let's try that. Let's have delay. Let's ditch our EQ for right now and let's pull in reverb. Oh, and let's turn on these other guys too. Sweet, those effects sound really good. Then I guess the final step would just be to assign foot switches to each of these things. So to assign foot switches, we're just gonna hold down the enter button for a couple seconds. It's gonna bring up our foot switch assign. Then all we do is we can use the arrow keys to select the different effects. And then when we select an effect, we can either press the foot switch that we want to assign that effect to, or we can use this first knob and we can scroll through to all the different options for foot switches. So we could just go through and we can assign for these expression pedal ones like the wah and the volume. It's probably best just to turn these to either none or expression toe switch. For the wah expression toe switch, when you push down your volume pedal, it's gonna click that effect on or off. For volume pedal, you could probably do the same thing. That way, you can toe down on your expression pedal and it'll turn the wah on, turn the volume pedal off in reverse. Also for expression pedals, if you wanna change them from expression pedal 1 to expression 2, what you can do is hover over it, hit the move button twice. It'll bring up your controller assign, and then using the number 2 knob, you're gonna change the controller parameter to either expression 1 or 2. And then we just go through each one, just tell it what we want it to be. Once you assign everything that you need, you can just hit the view button to come back to your main screen. And then just be sure to hit the save button, give your preset a name, whatever you want to name it, and then hit the save button one more time, and then it's gonna save it for you. All right, there you go. That's the bass pedal board that I came up with. Bass players, let me know in the comments what you think. Does this seem like a pedal board that would be usable, or am I just looking at this too much like a guitarist? Let me know below. If you found this video helpful at all, please hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll catch you in the next video. So until then, see you later.